and then we'll go ahead and get started on talking about what I wish I knew before I started clinical, because you guys gave literally some amazing information, and I want to kind of tap into that a little bit. But questions, concerns, anything you have, drop it in there. I'll address it. I'll put it on my list of, things I can help you with. So one of you had said, for those of you who are in clinical or starting clinical or daydreaming about clinical and in the rush, these little gems are going to help you. So care plans. Someone said that before they do their care plans, before they start clinical, they literally set a timer. So they give themselves look, intentional time, all about intentions. Set your intentions before you sit down and do something. What's your purpose for doing that? So she sets a timer so she can literally get sleep and do her yoga for brain power, because she made an awesome point. Care plans are supposed to show how prepared you are for clinical, and not sleeping is actually going to negate your care plan, what you're trying to do, because you also need to be able to function at clinical. Hey guys, how we doing? So I love that. So anything you're doing, I know the Pomodoro technique with the timer, the tomato, I can't look at that. I think it's Pomodoro technique, but stuff like that. So give yourselves whatever you're doing, getting ready for clinical, putting applications in, give yourself intentional time, set time to get stuff done, because you will actually be more productive and sleep and eat and do all the things, take care of yourself. All right. Someone spoke up as a spouse of a student nurse anesthetist. They said they wish someone had told them to be more patient. Oh, there's my bestie, my business partner. What's up, girl? She's like, I wish someone had told me to be more patient. So with that being said, be patient, guys. Whether you're trying to get into school and you're grinding, you're in school, it takes a lot of determination and patience and compassion on yourself. So make sure to have that for you and have that for your family as well, because your family's going through this stuff with you and they might not know completely how to handle that, and that's okay. So literally fill yourself up with lots of grace, lots of compassion for you, and then let that spill over to everybody else, or else you're literally going to go crazy. Trust me, because I've been on the other side of that and it's not pretty. Someone else said, what I wish I knew before I started clinical: flexibility. And flexibility is key. I know a lot of you in the ICU and working, you got to be flexible. Things change, throw on another admission and you're like, oh my God, come on. Or your patient decides they want to crash or whatever. But flexibility is key. And I'm telling you, even now, I have to just go to work. They usually give me my assignment the night before work, but guess what? I get into work, it's changed. There's an emergency case. You got to jump into that. I'm on call. You got to be super flexible on call because you don't know what's going to happen. So flexibility is key. So hone this muscle as you're just living life in your daily life, right? Hone that muscle flexibility, learning to go with the flow, letting go of some of the type A perfectionist tendencies and just rolling with it. You will be a better student and CRNA for it. So learn those lessons now. What else? I love this one. So someone else said about clinical, what's 100% correct on Monday is going to be, could be 100% incorrect on Tuesday. And I love that. You are going to learn a million styles and a million ways to do things, even as you're getting into school. I have what I share, other people share different things. So anyways, once again, it goes with that not being rigid and flexible and just going with the flow, right? One preceptor is going to think, oh my God, why are you doing that? That is god awful. That is terrible. Don't ever do that again. And you're like, oh my God, what? And you feel defeated. It's okay. It's normal. It's part of the process. And it also goes with, I love this one. Someone said, some days your main takeaway is learning how not to do anesthesia. I love that because guys, guess what? You are going to learn something from everybody. I always love this quote that there's no enemies, there's only teachers. Everybody, good, bad, ugly, everything in between, no matter how they are, can teach you something. So as you're going into your anesthesia school journey, just remember that, okay? You are creating your toolbox of goodies so that you can choose what you want to use when you get out. So it's actually pretty awesome. You're like, you know what? I liked that. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to save that for later. That was super ugly, never doing that, but glad I know it. Glad I saw it, right? Everybody is here to teach you something, whether it's good or bad. There are no enemies. There's only teachers. All right. Lock that into your brain. Another thing somebody said is, know every single drug in the top drawer backwards and forwards. And yes, that's true. Once you get into clinical, pull open that drawer or have one of your friends take a picture that's in clinical and sit there and learn all those medications, mechanism of action, like receptor they work on, dosages, peak time of the drug, duration of action of the drug, and be able to say those things out loud. I posted something today. Like it's easy to like look at something and be like, I get it. That makes sense. Neuromuscular junction, nicotinic receptors, like got it. But then you have to like say it and you have to like, and it's a whole other ballgame. So I also have my anesthesia drug drawer guide where I go through, there's an audio you get with it and you get the booklet where I break all the drugs down into really simplistic form. So check that out. Hey, how are you going? Yes, I absolutely will. And I was going to tell you, I bought all those books. So anyways, so make sure you know all those drugs, backwards, forwards, sideways, you're going to get asked. All right. So work on that. That's something you can do, in your downtime. And if you're like a nurse now and you're like, get your drugs together. Like every shift, pick a drug and like dissect it, like milrinone, amio, levofed, epi, like you guys dive in. Wherever you are at in this present moment is where you are supposed to be. And it is your responsibility to rock it out. It is your responsibility to make the best of whatever situation you are in because it's only going to serve you later. Okay. All right. So drugs. Yes. What else did you guys say? Oh, this was a good one. Make sure you tab your tape so you don't fumble after you put the tube in. I love that one. And it's so true because like you get the tube in and you're like, oh my God. And hopefully you tape the eyes. I'm a huge person. Tape the eyes, like literally as soon as you lose your lash reflex and you push the probe or etomidate, whatever, patient's asleep, tape those eyes. Just tape those eyes. Don't scrape the eyes. No corneal abrasions here. But yeah, tab your tape. Like put a little tab on your tape because literally the tape will not move when you get that tube in. And then everyone's going to be looking at you like, okay, the tube has been in like 5 seconds because, operating room is like this. So yeah, tab your tape. I love that. That's great advice. Put a little tab on your tape. Makes things smoother when you go to tape your tube and everything, or have your tape ready. Let's see here. I love this. Someone said use the Evernote app to save notes on cases. I love that. I actually am going to talk about in my live about studying. We're going to talk about how to kind of content management, how to organize, create files and folders and all these things. So, so make sure you have some type of note in your phone and do like a reflection. So after clinical, what went well? What maybe didn't go well? What can you work on in the morning? And any other questions you didn't know, you have to go back and look. Like almost have like a daily log or, categorize in some way so you can keep all that information together. I had stuff everywhere and I was drowning in it. So make sure you have a good, concise system. And we are going to talk more about that eventually. Let's see. Someone else had said how to properly pre-op patients. Yes, that is huge. That is foundational. That is getting baseline information. I actually have a video, like a free video somewhere in my IG TVs about pre-oping patients. That is super crucial. That is a huge skill. Listen to people. If you have like downtime at clinical, like listen into people's pre-ops. What are they asking? Like what is the patient's medical history? What are the pertinent things you have to tease out? What do you have to know about this patient? So when you put them to sleep and they can't talk to you and things are, ever changing dynamic in surgery, you pick up on clues like this is not right for this patient. Something is going on. That's your job, to be super crazy type A vigilant. That's where you use your type A as a good thing, okay? Not to make yourself crazy. And this kind of goes along with this. I love this. Look at what the surgeon is doing to the body and how that dictates to your anesthesia. So make sure you're looking over the drape. It is going to take you guys time to learn surgeries. All right, because you got to learn the anesthetic. You got to learn how the comorbidities go with the anesthetics, how the drugs go, and how this goes. It's a lot. So slowly but surely, you will begin to learn. You will learn surgeons because every surgeon is different with their techniques, and you will begin to learn how the surgery flows, and you'll be able to be ahead of the curve with your anesthesia. But that takes time. But look over the drape. What are they doing? Think about those reflexes. If they're like pulling on the eyeball, and your heart rate drops. Why is that? Look at all those little things, okay? It's the little things. That's what matters. It's the small, tiny minutia. It's the little details, all right? So focus on that. So I love that. Peek over the thing. Be thinking about how you can apply what's going on. The vagus nerve. Get to the vagus nerve is going to be your BFF. Get to know that vagus nerve. And I would actually say on your little clipboard, or whatever you kind of keep, like you only need a few things. Have some of those reflexes, cranial nerves and like those reflexes. Oh my God, now I got to think about all of them. Hey girl. Oh my God, I was just looking at those the other day. The 5 and dime, which I just talked about. Oh my God, I've got baroreceptors. Sorry, I'm like blanking out. All those things, all those reflexes are super important. I am going to dive into those at a later time. Autonomic nervous system, know all that stuff. So keep that on your clipboard, keep that handy, know what the surge is doing so that you can be ahead of what is happening. Now, don't play catch up, be ahead of it. Someone else had said, be early, be prepared, be assertive, and always have a plan, even if it's wrong. Love that advice. That is perfect. Get to clinical early, stay at clinical late. And you don't have to be, per se, like kind of bossy or kind of rude, but you do need to have some type of assertiveness, okay? Like, be a little bit assertive. You have a seat at the table right now. You're at the table. Own your seat, take your seat, do your thing, and be in charge of your learning the best you can. Because like I always tell you guys, you have more control than you think you do because you control your brain, your mouth, what you think, all that good stuff, okay? You have more control than you think you do. Another person said, always listen to lecture recordings. Absolutely. Go back and look at stuff you don't know. Like I said, it's all about keeping notations of stuff you might need to review, kind of keeping that all in an organized place, which I can't wait to talk about that kind of stuff. But yeah, always go back and listen and always have tons of questions available. Come with questions. When you're doing your care plan, what question can I ask? Maybe pull an article that talks about a certain element of like the surgery, or your patient maybe has a weird thing in their history, whatever it is, come with questions, okay? Let's see. One of my favorites, don't take things personally. I say it all the time. I love it when another SRNA says it. Don't take things personally. Like, trust me, I could go into work tomorrow and I could be like, or even like Sunday, like somebody, I don't know, something happened on Sunday. I could have totally taken it personally and been upset about it, but why? For what, right? I'm not wasting my energy on that. Like, I know what I can bring to the table. I know what I need to work on, and it's not about me. Someone could have a bad day. People have their own issues. People are crazy, whatever. So that is number one rule. Just don't take it personal, right? Like, because you will spend a lot of wasted energy, like losing your confidence, dropping your self-esteem over things that sometimes have nothing to do with you. So walk in there, put your shell on, do your thing, be prepared, and just do the best you can. And the trick is, go back tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. That's truly how you win. All right, so I'm going to wrap up, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Drop them in there. But I want you guys to remember this. Whether you are a nurse, whether you are an SRNA, wherever you are at in your journey, you are the future of healthcare, of nursing, of anesthesia, right? The world, we all need you. You belong, and there is room for you at the table, right? Take your seat. You belong. You are meant to be at this table. It is a big table. It is an abundant table. There is no lacking. There is room for you, okay? So keep doing the work. We need you. Some patient needs you down the line. Your classmates need you down the line. You don't know what your future is going to look like. You don't know. But what you do know is that you have a passion and you have a heart for something. And I want you to keep leaning into that and keep on moving forward no matter what. Failures or opportunities, obstacles or opportunities. Find a different way. Don't stop and just keep going. Eye on the prize. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. I want you to become the best nurse on your unit. I want you to become that CRNA that the preceptors never want to leave, the SRNA that gets that they hire you on the spot. They want to keep you. Develop into the best version of you as an anesthesia provider, and everything else will follow. Okay? All right, you guys can do this. Thank you guys so much for popping in. It was super last minute. Baby's actually being quiet right now. But if you guys need anything, please let me know. Keep an eye on my Facebook page. I'm going to have those little mini videos up that are going to feed into the brand new free clinical guide that I have. For those of you that got the first one and you still get my weekly coffee chat emails, you guys are just going to get the guide, so don't worry about it. The rest of you, I will show you how to sign up. I have another live coming up. Like I said, I've been literally working on for months. I have an acid-base class. So many awesome things because I know that you guys can thrive. I know that you guys have a dream and you guys have a passion. So I want to feed you guys good stuff so you guys can keep going, because we need you. I need you. Please come to my operating room. Come hang out with me. Like, somebody needs you, and you need to prove to yourself that you can do this. All right.